YouTube will hit us with a warning.
Well, we're not on YouTube yet, so
Okay, we are live.
Yay!
oh,
I didn't do it.
Oh, there it goes. Hello and welcome to today's panel of the OPMC. We have our wonderful authors here: Joshua Kern, Stuart Rosse. Sorry, I'm terrible. Sean Hall and Austin Beck. So, if you guys could introduce yourself, that would be great. Starting with Sean
Josh.
Beck. Yeah. Starting with Joshua Kern.
Are you combining
Okay.
our names now in here? What's going on?
Yeah, am I Josh Beck now?
No, this is my squirrel brain at work. That's what's happening.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm Josh Kern. I've been around the sphere for a while. I wrote Game of Gods, Runic Cultivator, and a few other series. I'm sure a few of you at least have heard my name, but those are probably the ones you're most familiar with. So,
I'm Stuart Gross. I write power fantasy with villain MCs. So things like Lewd Dungeon, Rules Free VR MMO Life, Dark Fate, the OP Lich's Returnee, System Supervillain, and I just started a new one on my Patreon called Reborn as the First Boss.
All right. Can we get
Sean?
Sean Hall to introduce himself?
I don't want to. No. My name is Sean Hall. I'm the author of Goblin Apocalypse. I have a second book, Goblin Wrath, working halfway through my third. It's kind of exciting to do all that. I'm also one of the mods for the Lit RPG Books group, largest group so far on Facebook. So I get to talk to all the authors.
Right? That's awesome.
We just had to remember to tag him when we're in the group if we promo.
Yeah, we put up with him. It's all right.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm gonna start charging you guys here in a minute. It'll be fun. Be like the other Lit RPG Books group.
Well, we bribed Charles with bacon.
What's with bacon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
He just takes promises of bacon. You don't actually have to deliver.
You just
that's true. We actually just tell him we'll give him bacon. We never actually deliver.
If we
he
could
runs into you at a con, then you'll be like, give me bacon.
Yeah, I'm Austin Beck. I'm one of those the evil harem authors that everybody likes to hate. Those series. But
we all read them anyway.
Yeah,
I don't hate those. I just
usually
sometimes the harem gets a little out of hand.
Yeah, usually the ones that complain.
It's getting good.
But I've got a couple other pen names that I've written just straight lit RPG with no harem stuff. But I'm going to be here as Austin Beck today. But yeah, most every one of my books has got an overpowered main character. That's just something that they're always going to have overpowered main characters. A Barbarian Chef series. My newest series is There's a Cat Girl in My Cubicle.
Both of those.
Our Mage, Cultivation Academy Omega, and that's all I can think of right now.
Okay, so let's start off with a question because we don't have one yet, so I'm going to generate one. What drew you to the OPMC genre, or I should say? We should start off with Sean.
Of course. I don't know. I just always like rooting for the underdog in a lot of cases, but at the same time, it's fun to write. Where like in mine, it's a goblin's the main character, right? Everyone's always like weak goblins; they can't do anything, right? And so it's just fun to write it where he's like just pounding everybody else into the ground. Like, oh, you want to say I'm a weak guy? Okay, well, here, now I'll just wipe out you and everybody else around you and that kind of deal. So it's been fun to write that.
Oh yes, the curb stomp OMC. MC right there.
Yep.
Joshua, any thoughts?
For me, it's just there's a lot of variation in how you can do it. I mean, for Game of Gods, I went the traditional route where he becomes a literal god. I mean, he's pretty much overpowered in every way. But for my other series, I kind of explored a more different direction of my character is overpowered in only a single way. Whether it's he has a lot of health or he has a lot of intellect or he is bound to a single location like for Dungeon Ilaria. I wanted to make him overpowered but still limited, and so it keeps him grounded, but it's still a lot of fun. It's just I don't know. It's a lot of fun where making the character overpowered. I don't know. I don't really know how to put it into words. It's fun, I guess. Knowing he's so much better than me, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another question from Kyle Wilkinson. How do you write an OPMC without making them assholes?
I make
So-
them like assholes. Charismatic assholes. So yes, they're assholes, but you like what they're doing, so it's fun. My MCs are also villains, so they do bad things to for fun and profit, and they win.
Yeah, for Stuart, it totally works out for him.
All they do is win, so people like that?
Yeah, they do bad things, but they have fun doing it, and they're not going to apologize to anyone.
Austin?
Yeah. God, what was the question again?
How do you write an OPMC without making them assholes?
Okay. I've got. Let's see. Most of my MCs they're overpowered, but they're pretty decent guys. I think I've only got one in a mixed martial cultivator that's been fairly polarizing that they've said was an asshole. But I mean, it was just his character. He was the best MMA fighter in the world, literally, and he's the most famous, richest athlete in the world. So he did have a little bit of asshole in him because it just kind of goes with the territory. But like in Barbarian Chef, I do have a very overpowered MC, but he's extremely friendly, wants to help people. So he's kind of the opposite, but he can be a badass when he needs to be. But yeah, it's easy not to make him an asshole. Just don't write them as an asshole.
Yeah.
Say nice things.
Anyone else have thoughts? Or can we take the next question?
I
Well,
mean,
I'm
Just because they kick ass doesn't mean they're an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
I'm
will take the.
Howard, but I'm an asshole. So
Yeah, there's
the
still
next series
human.
of my book, right? I'm overpowered and I'm an asshole.
We will take the question from Facebook user. Have you ever found yourself second guessing or regretting the mechanics you set up?
I still question my mechanics. Then I have to go back and reread some of the stuff I wrote to make sure I'm still following my mechanics and not jumping into something different. Though at the same time, I'm pretty light on my current series on stats and things like that. They only pop up like a couple times in each book. So
Yeah.
I try to make it a little easier for myself, and I hate reading just pages of stats. Like I don't like getting into a book and then it's like, oh, every other chapter is let me go over every stat.
Well, if you use the word count, that works out pretty good. The stats in there.
It's not an enjoyable read. It's even worse when you're listening to it. Like I do a lot of side hustle driving, and so audiobooks are my jam a lot of times. Man, it's so annoying just to listen to nothing but stats.
I love stats myself, but do we really need to hear level up, level up, level up?
It's part of
I
the
mean, it
genre.
looks great on the text, but in the audiobook, it's a bit much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
kind of found myself migrating more towards like
Usually
lit,
because
light lit RPG for that reason.
like I don't ever find myself second guessing the mechanics or regretting the mechanics because either I'm doing make shit up as you go mechanics or I'm doing an actual published system like D&D or Champions or Heroes or Mutants and Masterminds or something. So either I'm doing stuff where I'm making things up as I go along, and so I don't need to worry about what the mechanics I did 3 books ago were, or they're already there for me, and so I can just look at the book and know what they are. So, I cheat like that.
I kind of regretted parts of it in Game of Gods.
Mhm.
But I mean, I had a specific idea in mind when I set it up, and it got what I needed done, and then it needed to be changed multiple times throughout the story. But that was written into the story from the very beginning,
Mhm.
and I mean, it kind of comes across as me doing it because I regretted the system I put into place, but it was always meant to be changed. I just kind of regret how it came across, I guess.
Hmm.
But yeah, there were certain mechanics I set into the story when I first set it up that I did regret and that never got used. So in that way, I do.
My
All
hero
right.
stuff is fairly game. I mean, there's a little bit of like I crunchy in some of them, and it's mainly just game lit. In my straight lit RPG stuff, it'll have a little bit more complicated system, but yeah, I would say in Harem, most readers don't really want to read stats at all very often, but they do like to read like notifications or like skills and all that kind of stuff.
I personally, there's just a difference for, like I was saying, between level up, level up, level up, and you have gained levels 1 through 5.
Yeah.
Just, as a audiobook primary listener, I mean, it looks great on paper either way, but when you're listening to it, it's a huge change.
Yep.
So that's just my input on that. We also have a question from Nathan down here. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your last name. I'm terrible.
Waiting for
What
you
are
to try that.
May? I've been terrible. What are your strategies for challenging an overpowered MC, or do you not need to bother because for some readers that's not desirable?
I mean, it's the same as like with Goku in Dragon Ball Z. Sometimes you have this big, powerful fighter that they then go and yell for a half hour and to power up and then beat. But otherwise, they're just there to see Goku throw hands with people.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like when you're doing an OPMC, you don't need to have an actual antagonist that is threatening the whole time. You just have to have somebody for them to beat up this week.
He just needs to be face slapped there.
Exactly.
You need your punching bag of the week?
Yes. It's like
On the
Power
next episode.
Monster of the Week. They beat him up, they go Megazord, they kill him. It's great. You have fun, and it's done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Not everything needs to be like super diabolical villain.
Yeah.
Like
For
that
me,
arch nemesis that you insulted, like at the beginning of the book because you accidentally bumped into him, like we were talking about earlier.
Especially if you're doing serial novellas like I do, Monster of the Week is name of the game because
yeah, you got to keep it moving.
you're always moving along. So
Yeah.
Do we have any?
For like what I was doing with Portals of Albion, the main character in that series, he is like overpowered. He has a ton of health, but the main ability that makes him powerful drains his health. It takes all of his magical powers and then sends his health into the negative, more or less. It makes him supremely vulnerable. But I mean, when he uses it, he can pretty much cause cosmic destruction. But if anything survives, you flick him with your fingernail and he's dead. So I mean, he does not want to use that ability.
Yeah.
So I mean, the entire name of the game for him is never ever using that ability. And anything magic for him has the potential of using that ability. So if he heals someone, if he creates, a magic arrow, anything magic uses that ability. So he is restricted to never using magic, which is his overpowered ability. So
I'm the exact opposite way. So
Yeah.
everything that, it's like, let's see how many different ways we can, curb stomp the enemies this week.
Yeah.
What
And
are
that's
we
kind of
going to do to the bad guy, to the, forces of righteousness this week? Oh,
Yeah.
so many bad things happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I did with like Game of Gods, and then with Portals to Albion, I just went the different direction. I wanted to make him overpowered but limited. I wanted to see, how it would make the story flow, and it's a different direction. It's still fun. So,
Do you have any
Yeah,
input,
that's-
Sean? Sorry.
oh, Sean.
You can.
Oh no, I was more or less done. I lost my train of thought, anyways.
Do you have any input, Sean?
I mean, in my story, the nemesis or the villains is just kind of like the humans that created the chaos of the planet, but my main character has no access to them. So all he could do is go in there and like screw up his system, and they had towers put on the planet to help control the nanites that cause the apocalypse. So he's taken over one by book 2, and now the humans are scrambling to try to stop him from taking over the other tower and messing up their whole game plan. So in that sense, there's no like supervillain for him. It's just a set of challenges so he can kind of win back control of his planet.
Yeah, in my books, I don't really have like a central villain. Like there's not a Thanos or a Darth Vader, in my books. I'm a pantser, so it's kind of just whatever pops in my head. Like in Barbarian Chef, near the beginning, he has a run-in with like just a guy that's running a crime syndicate and extorting money from people. I have a little bit of a duel with them for a few chapters, and then later on, this really bad orc shows up, and then that. But I don't really just have like one central.
I like those crime syndicates, Austin, because you did that with Catgirl too. At least in book 1.
Maybe I'm getting them mixed up. Oh
Because
yeah,
book 1 you had they were kidnapping the Catgirls.
the traffickers. It's amazing how I spend so much time with books, but then I can. But yeah, I need to get you to beta read that one pretty soon.
Like I've been reading like everybody's books around here. So,
good job.
Nope.
Yeah,
All right.
Evidently.
That's kind of what got me into writing too, is doing all this proofreading. I'm like, you know what? I think I could do this too, and give it a shot. So.
Yeah, what got me into writing was reading stuff on Royal Road and saying, oh God, this is crap. I could do better. And then I was like, you know what? Fine, I'll do better.
Right?
47 versions of Loot Dungeon later. No.
I got better.
Okay, we have a question
I
from.
read a bunch of Lit RPG back in 2019, and I got no writing experience. And then one day I just sat down at the keyboard and said, I'm going to write something. And then, boom, I've been writing ever since 2019.
Yep.
Best way to do it.
Yeah. It's not Shakespeare, but people are buying it, so somebody likes
Pays
it.
bills.
Shakespeare isn't Shakespeare. Let's be honest.
Okay, so we have a question from TJ Lombardi. What are things you think new authors get wrong when developing OPMCs?
Make them
Ooh.
struggle too much, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of emphasis on this whole weak to strong OPMCs,
Yeah.
and they spend so much time saying, showing how beat down and shit on the main character is at the beginning so that people can appreciate how OP they get later on. But that's not what people who read OPMCs are there for. They're there for overpowered shit from the start, and then it gets more overpowered. So if you start off with, and an anime that came out with this, I got a, skill in the other world and became overpowered in the real world too, or something like that. Yeah,
That's a
I
good
couldn't
one.
make it through the first episode of that anime because it was, the first part of the episode, the first half of the episode was all about how miserable this guy is in the real world. And
Yeah, I
it's
hated
like,
this character.
yeah, I don't care. And, that's the thing is,
Yeah.
with any book, you have to nail the beginning. The beginning is the most important part of the book. It doesn't matter how good the last 90% of the book is. If that first 10% doesn't get people actually interested in reading the rest of the book, that 90% will not be read.
Personally, for me, as a reader, if you don't hook me by that first hour, I'm going to put it down and find something else.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like if by chapter 2 or 3, if you aren't interested in the book, it doesn't matter how good the last 30 chapters are. Those chapters aren't getting read, especially with like Kindle Unlimited, where you aren't actually paid. You don't have $15 down on the paperback of the book. That's
Got no
sitting
skin in the game.
staring at you. You don't have that same kind of pressure, so you can do not finish the book really easy.
Right.
There's like one book in the genre where it's like 60 hours long for book one, right? And there's a whole series of these. And I struggled through all 60 hours of it, and I was like, the last 10% of it was good. And I'm like, why? So now I'm not doing that anymore.
I think
Wow.
what it is, it's one of those where it's I think I know what series you're talking about, but I won't say it. It's just one of those series that's really popular that everybody seems to like it. So you feel
Yeah.
I
like
couldn't
it,
stand that one either.
so you'll keep like reading. So you're like, eventually, it's going to click with me like it's clicking with everybody else. But
And it just doesn't.
Just never
and,
does.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw someone post about that series, and they're like, "You got to wait till you get to book 4." And I'm like, "I can't do
Like,
4
no.
books in 60
It's
hours
hard to get
before I
good.
start enjoying it."
Dude, that would be like 240 hours just to get to the good part.
I saw
Exactly.
someone do a post a while back, and they were like, "I hate beer," and the guy was like, "Oh, you have to train yourself to like beer. It gets better." And I was like, and the guy was like, "If I have to
Called
train myself
Stockholm
to like
Syndrome.
beer, it's not
Stockholm.
good."
Like, that's not liking the beer. That's called Stockholm Syndrome.
Exactly, and that was his entire point. If I have to train myself to like it, it's not good. And it's the same thing here. If I have to train myself to like the book, it's not good.
Okay, we've kind of wandered away from our question here, which again is, what do new authors get wrong when developing OPMCs?
Yeah, I think the main thing they get wrong is not thinking through where the main character fits inside their story.
Hmm.
So if they make this character super duper strong and then don't think their story through, he's just going to steamroll through everything and upset the entire balance of the story, their world, and the universe they had created. And then the story is going to fall flat.
Don't be calling Austin out like that because he pants.
Yeah,
Well, it doesn't even
Yeah.
go through with pantsing.
Holy-
But I've seen a few stories where like they have a cool character and then the rest of the story falls flat because they obviously didn't think it through.
Yeah.
I have the opposite thing as a reader. Like they will have like a cool everything else, but the main character is just so unlikable. You're like, I can't even. You know, I have to find something else because like I just can't stand this guy.
And usually when they're doing stuff like that, it's to show the redemption of the main character or whatever. And it's like,
Not everybody
again,
needs to be
the story
redeemed.
doesn't matter if in the last 10% it's great if you didn't win people in the first 10%.
Yeah, they already left.
Yeah.
It's kind
Oh.
of
It does not matter if you don't nail the beginning.
kind of
Trying to
similar
get that hook.
like MMORPGs where people say, "Oh, you've got to play it 100 hours before it gets good," or "It doesn't get good until the game." So,
Oh, that was freaking what that new game, Star whatever.
yeah.
Oh,
I
sir.
saw something.
Final Fantasy 14.
I saw something where it was like the new Star whatever didn't get really good until you'd played 160 hours, and I was like, I'm not playing it for that long. I don't have that kind of time.
No, I'm 45. I got 3 kids.
Starfield.
Yeah, Starfield. That was it. Yeah.
Came
Thanks,
in
Nathan.
right at the beginning.
I said that first, but okay. Thanks, David.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I didn't hear it either. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to be quiet because I'm naturally a loud person. So, all right. We can get back to our questions here. We have one from Kyle Wilkinson. Any MCs from other books you hoped that they would have written as OP? Like there was potential there, and you could have. It would have been amazing if they were OP, or you just really like their character and you're like, man, that should be OP.
You know, the way of the Shaman books, you know, like the first couple books, he was good. And then, like, by book 4, it was mostly about guild accountancy. And you could see that the inevitable trail was happening. And it's like,
I honestly did not finish that series myself as a reader because he just kept doing the same stuff and not learning. It was really frustrating.
you know, where the, like, you don't learn, you don't see the obvious betrayal coming. Come on. You know, like, yeah, so Way of the Shaman was one of them. And there's a lot of books where it's just like, it would be really great if you could just curb stomp some people instead of having to struggle through all of this shit.
Yeah, I've got a good example, and I'm sure it changes, and this will be controversial because it's such a popular series. But the Cradle series, that's millions and millions of dollars. So I understand that.
I actually still need to finish that one.
I read like the first 3 books, and the main character just constantly got his ass beat for 3 books. And I'm pretty sure that changes and he becomes probably a god or whatever. But it was so painful.
Yeah.
I was like, please kick somebody's ass. You know, he was getting beat up by everybody.
Yeah.
And
If it's some rando drunk, just kick one person's ass, right?
Yeah. It's like, you just spending so
It's
long
painful.
getting beat down. It's just not fun.
Right.
And that's the thing. We're reading this for fun.
Yeah. It gets
fun.
frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't want to be
Well, the reason-
frustrated when I'm trying to escape reality.
Exactly. If I wanted a weak, somebody who didn't have any power, I'd just go out in real world where I don't have any power. I write books so I can kick people's asses with impunity.
Or you could read Wandering In. That main character didn't do squat the whole book.
There was lots of cleaning. There was lots and lots of cleaning.
Yeah, and chess,
Yeah.
playing
Yeah,
chess.
She beat
People
that
like
dust, man. She pounded that
Be like
dust.
that side where it's really OP, but then some people like it where the MC can't do anything whatsoever, and that some people like that, and I like other, like I like in movies, for instance, I like in Kill Bill, Uma Thurman, the way she just, it's completely unrealistic, but at the end, she's in a restaurant and then 88 gang members just bust in and she just kills all of them. I mean, I like watching stuff like that. You know, I just got done watching Predator for about the 50th time. You know, I just want to watch Arnold Schwarzenegger just go and just beat up people and blow up.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah.
Full beast mode, right?
I ain't got time to bleed. You know,
I still have to watch the originals. That new one was pretty good though.
yeah, Prey. Yeah, that was good.
Can we kick
Prey.
Josh out now? He hasn't watched the original.
Oh, God.
Hey, that's just mean.
Your speaking privileges have been revoked.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
look
it
at
is.
Shoot him now.
that. Hello.
Yes.
Hello, you crazy man, you. Okay, we have a question from Facebook user. Have you ever run across a cultural blind spot that you needed to course correct for later on, or that an editor pointed out? Example, unintentionally being culturally insensitive.
See,
No.
I am intentionally culturally insensitive because I do villains as MCs. So when they're doing bad things, it's intentional.
I am not surprised by that answer at all from you, Stuart.
It
Not
sounds
at
like
all.
him, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds like him.
Out there giving 0 Fs, right?
Yep.
Okay, well, at least with your characters.
Good question, but it's
I mean, these are fantasy books. Most of them
yeah.
Yeah, I tried.
are cultures are fantasy, so
Elf dwarves. I mean, no one's really getting offended.
yeah.
I think this is more like a Zambia question or something, because like that's a huge other cultural market.
What's the one with Jason where people are going off because Jason would go on a rampage about American culture, or talking about the American culture, and then people would just tear into that.
He Who Fights with Monsters.
There we go. I can't.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was blanking on the
I was gonna
title.
say,
I read
He
so
Who
many
Defeats
books. I'm like,
Monsters, but yeah.
hold on. What's the title of that one?
I find that personally just a smidge annoying, but it's not enough to make me dislike the series or go attack
really
the
well written.
author, right?
Yeah.
I
But you see
had
people doing that,
More
though.
ignorant and annoying than anything.
Supreme Court after the Roe v. Wade decision. So, I don't give a shit.
I'm like, I'm not here for that. I'm here for cool stuff, right?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not wrong on all of it. It's just how much he spews is ignorant on a lot of it as well. So it's annoying. And yeah, so I just skip a lot of it.
But yeah, like I know, like the harem genre, and I know the people that read Stewart's, they're easier to please. They don't get offended. They just don't care. Which is one reason why it's easier to write for and why I'm good at it.
It's because they're pretty much reading porn. They don't care about the storyline.
Potato, potato.
I would like a little bit at least story in the harem, because otherwise it's just one massive written orgy, and I don't know. I actually like story, because I'm reading a book. Want some story,
Also does
please.
some good job with his story writing in his books.
All the people reading Austin stuff are like, come on, man. Why are all these words here? Where's the next section? Come on, man.
Him or Stewart. I mean, you got a story called Lewd Dungeon.
Yeah.
Why is there story in here? It should be
In the
enough.
first book of Lewd Dungeon, there is a tentacle monster called Captain Hentai. It is exactly what you think.
I am very afraid.
A giant shield with tentacles on it.
It's a slime monster, but yes.
I'll take it.
Like I have.
Yeah, it's exactly what you think. And so, it's on the nose.
Yeah. So.
Well, I wouldn't say that's technically appropriate for that specific book, but it is titled Lewd Dungeon, so I think that's one of the ones where you're just like, okay, I know what I'm getting into.
Super
Like, if you
clean
didn't know
Shakespearean
what you're
poetry.
getting into with the title, then I'm sorry, I give no fucks about you clutching pearls over that.
Pearls. I don't have any, but
All the southern women going, "Oh, this book."
So
And they're all reading the 50 Shades of Grey, so whatever.
Yeah,
Yes, with the 5
I didn't
thumbs that go in the mouth.
Criminal Minds episode.
yeah, I've seen women are more kinky than we are with the stuff they read.
bye, getting spicy in here, right?
I'm on that podcast too. Whenever that is some spicy pod.
I mean,
panel.
you do have 2 harem authors in here, so
The harem, genre
Who degenerate?
violently opposes me being harem because because if there's any guy that even looks sideways at a girl in your book that isn't the main character, harem audiences will be after you with pitchforks and torches.
Yes, yes. There's a big list of rules with this, and if you mess up a rule, you need to just pick another.
You are done.
Pearls may have their place, Nathan, but they're not anal beads, dude. So be careful.
Personally, the only thing that would make me and go, "Oh my gosh," would be if somebody caught me reading it when I was in public. They're like, "What are you reading?" And I'm like, "A book."
Just show them the link. Just own it.
Oh, it's just
Own
awkward.
whatever you do.
you're like, this one's
Be
by
proud.
Stewart. You should read it. It's called Lewd Dungeon.
Exactly. You just own it. Next question.
Next question. All right, let me see if I can
Yeah, that
come
was
up
a
with
tangent.
We've actually made it through.
Need to shut up. I'm taking it in other directions.
Is there any genre or subgenre where you would like to put a OCMC for if you had the time and we're finished with all your other projects?
Ooh.
Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, say what?
Is there any other subgenre where you would like to write an OPMC if you had the time and we're finished with all your other projects? This is just a hypothetical.
I was gonna say, isn't it also a known quality for lit RPG authors to have multiple projects going at the same time?
But
and
if there was-
reading one full series? Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm already writing 4 books at the same time right now.
Yeah, see that? I think that's almost stereotypical for a lit RPG author.
If someone
Series
sees
going.
you
I
all
got
for
2.
line and you were finished and you could write for a new subgenre or something you haven't done before, where would you put your OPMC?
Supernatural romance.
Ooh.
Because
That's
I
a
haven't
weird one, but
done
okay.
anything like that yet. I've done a bunch of, super villains. I've done game lit RPG. I've done, fantasy and sci-fi stuff. I haven't done supernatural, kind of stuff yet. So if I was going to just pick something up and decide to go with it, that's what I'd do.
And still make it lit RPG?
And still make it game lit or lit RPG. Yeah, because that helps with the flow of things.
I'd like to write a female main character sometime. I haven't done that yet because it would be a challenge, I think, but it'd be cool.
Just make them as horny as the male MCs, and it's fine.
Yeah, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. I've got 20 stories plotted in some way. Usually. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna tackle a female main character. But in the harem genre, that's what people know me for. So I don't know. I may have to do that under another pen. I don't know.
Reverse harem is a thing. Just saying.
It is, but it's not very popular. It doesn't do well.
Yeah, you don't, advertise it with people who already know harem. They are
That's fair.
diametrically opposed.
They hate each other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I have a series I want to do for like superheroes, but I mean, I don't know if it would be gamelit or not. I have a way to make it one. I don't know if I want to go that direction with it.
Just use the Mutants and Masterminds system.
I debated it. I started it originally years ago, and then I dropped it when I moved back to Colorado. And then I tried picking it up and using a system similar to that to make it gamelit, and then I dropped it again because I just wasn't feeling it. I want to pick it up again and finish the story. I just don't know if I want to use the original system I had in mind or what. So one of
that
these
be
days
number
I'll
5
finish
for
it.
you
I just
then?
haven't decided it. Huh?
Would that be
What
number
system
5 for you then?
Doing?
I can't hear you guys say what.
What system were you originally doing?
It was going to be a Fallout system similar to a little bit what happened in 2019, where everybody gets infected. They close off the state of Pennsylvania, and as a result, certain people start gaining powers.
All right, if you're going to do something OP, then just go with Mutants and Masterminds. It's basically D&D and the mechanics because it's the D20 system, but it's geared towards superheroes. So it can easily go into OP territory real quick.
No one cares about Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I mean, I had the entire backstory worked out for the story, the first like 5 chapters written, and then I just stalled out on the story because I started writing other things. So, like I said, I'll pick it up one of these days.
Like an overpowered Amish guy would be really cool.
And actually, that would have
Build
happened.
your
'cause-
barn in 3 seconds.
Like all the
Yeah.
Amish people have powers.
Yeah, and that would have happened because the main town where it first happens is right next to an Amish village.
Uh,
Okay.
That's what we need.
Yes.
That would have been brilliant. Oh man.
Okay, one last question because we have 15 minutes left, and then I have to give you your author time. So, what non-OP author would you like, providing everything aligned, to write an OP book with?
ugh.
Ooh.
It could be anyone within the genre, or even somebody not within the genre.
I don't know. A lot of people are writing at least a little bit OP.
Yeah.
I would say I don't usually read anything unless this OP. So I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Even the OP. So
Even the what? You
R.A.
broke out often.
Salvatore.
even the Bible's OP.
R.A. Salvatore, the guy who did the
Ooh,
Drift.
yeah.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
a
a
good
guy.
answer.
He's like one of my favorite authors.
Mhm.
Okay, I got my answer.
Okay.
I would write with Patrick Rothfuss just so I could force him to actually finish a book.
He came out with a novella, right, though, for that series.
Doesn't count. That's a novella. And he
That
took
doesn't
like
count.
20 years to write it.
It could be worse, it could be The Princess Bride, which that guy has been, stuck
He died.
since the 80s.
Princess Bride guy died.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
That's why he's stuck.
He actually started writing the second book in that series. He didn't really like it, but then he actually died. So
So why
Thanks for
have,
bringing
they
us
goaded
down,
him into
Josh.
writing it because of the money the book made.
get after him to finish the book? I don't care if he's died.
Nice, DJ.
Necromancer time. Finish the book.
Right?
You'll need that for George R.R. Martin while you're at it, because that dude's gonna die before he ever finishes that series.
I don't
Well,
care
there was
that
an
you're
interview where
dead.
he said-
Use your spirit fingers to write the book.
There was an interview where he says he struggles to write 6 pages in 3 months.
Dude, I
Yeah.
read 6 pages.
But
in
But
like
he could
5
come out
minutes.
with new books and prequels to his
Right.
stuff.
those 6 pages may be crap, but that's why you rewrite and then rewrite again. The
Just
hard
get
part's
something
getting
written
them down.
Yeah, just get it down. You got an editor.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he could afford one.
Yeah, we all have Sean Hall.
No.
Okay, we still have 5 minutes before I have to do your author thing. So,
Books are bad. It's his fault.
okay.
The book's bad. It's my fault. Thanks.
Yeah.
If
If
you-
Martin's books are bad, it's your fault, Sean.
I'll
If-
just remember that when you guys go, hey, can you beta read this? And be like, you're going to need to delete whole chapters. No, just
If
random
money
sections.
wasn't a
That's why
consideration,
Patreon are my beta readers.
if money wasn't a consideration,
Beta readers.
who would you get for your narrator and why?
Travis.
Ooh.
I would do Travis Baldry.
No.
I already
Freak, I'm
got my.
blanking on the name right now. Oh, what's his name? Firefly
Money?
guy.
James Earl Jones.
Nathan Fillion?
Money was no option.
Yes, Nathan Fillion.
Ooh,
That'd be a
that's
good
good.
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick
Money
Stewart.
Martha-
Ooh.
Stewart.
I hear he's kind of picky though.
Patrick Stewart would be good.
Morgan Freeman.
For some reason, I thought Stewart said
I would
Martha
listen to
Stewart.
Morgan Freeman read me the phone book.
James Earl Jones.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
that would be good too.
Morgan Freeman or Patrick Stewart, I would listen to them read the phone book.
Right?
And my dream narrator was Jessica 3. I've already had her doing several of my books, so I'm good. I think she's the best anyway.
Mhm.
She's the goat.
TJ, that one guy with the
I
voice.
just imagine Stewart as a little kid. Your mom holding the phone bill, being like, "Stewart, why do we have a bill for $3,000 and you just listening to the operator read the phone book?"
Well,
You
Jessica
listen to it?
Alba
It's
was doing
Morgan
it that
Freeman.
way, you know.
I don't know. I personally would like. I think his name is Roger, but he does the voice of Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2, the video game.
Ryan
just-
Reynolds.
Oh yeah.
I like Ryan Reynolds, but I like his acting more than his voice.
But if you do his voice when you have those snarky like AIs and just let him ad lib a little bit, you could probably add so
Ryan
much to it.
Reynolds as Deadpool narrating the book.
Oh my,
Well, no,
Oh,
that sounds
Hey,
something like
I got
like,
the perfect combination. Master Chief and Cortana.
Cut out Master Chief.
No idea what their actual names are, but they're good. I'd take them.
Also, maybe Christopher Judge. I don't know.
Oh, he's pretty
You know who that is? It's the
brilliant, man.
He's
yes,
cute.
he started the-
Also, he did,
oh, okay.
and
he did God of War recently.
Yes.
yeah, God of War. That was the one.
He's always been God of, Kratos. From the first game on, he was up Kratos.
No, he wasn't in the first game. He did. He started with the fourth game.
Well, you know, if we're
He
talking
started
about
with the reboot.
yeah.
Yeah,
hey,
he
if we're
started with
talking
the
about
reboots.
OPMCs, should have Chuck Norris be the narrator.
Where
Be like OPMC with the OP narrator. No,
Yep.
yeah.
If you don't listen to this book, I will kick your soul.
you might lose your soul listening to the book just hearing his voice all the time.
I would like the guy that voices like Vegeta. I think he would be really good in some of my books. His name's Christopher something. I can't remember.
Chuck Norris makes you read the book to him when you hit play.
Nice, Nathan.
Okay, so we're going to have just 11 minutes left, and most of that is towards 10. So if we could get the author promotionals, that would be great. And Sean, would you like to start?
What am I doing?
We have 10 minutes left, so author promotionals, like new stuff you're working on.
Oh yeah, so I kind of mentioned it before. I'm about halfway through my third book of my current series, and I'm about 50,000 in words into a new series as well. So I'm kind of dual writing right now. Hoping to have those out early 2024, and then audio for book 2 out in January as well. I'm done again by Luke Daniels. So
Yeah, that's like a big deal, Luke Daniels. And
yeah, that was nice.
Because Sean, actually, I'm going to point this out. He actually looks like a very wealthy person. Look at that piano in the background.
I wish that was my piano.
I mean, that's like crazy.
Like, I wish that was my stuff. No, just the background, man.
Okay, well, this is pretty good background. It looks real.
Yeah.
So maybe you're not very wealthy then.
No, man. You
I'm
know how many side hustles I got? If I was wealthy, do you think I'd be beta reading for all y'all? No. Then after this, I'm gonna go drive Uber Eats. So I'm hustling my ass off.
Make that cheddar.
Yeah, exactly.
Austin, would you like to talk about what your upcoming stuff?
Yes. In the next couple of weeks, I'll be releasing book 3 in my "There's a Cat Girl in My Cubicle" series.
You're only giving me 2 days to read that, aren't you?
I know you can do it, man.
You can do it.
He's
Cracking the whip a little bit there.
powered beta reader, so he can do
Yeah.
it. But yeah, that's coming out. I just had the audio for my Barbarian Chef 1, 2, and 3, a box set in case anybody wants to get that.
Nice.
All 3 of them together. After I publish "There's a Cat Girl in My Cubicle" 3, I'm going to work on another project before rolling into "There's a Cat Girl in My Cubicle 4. But yeah, I've never run out of ideas. It's just picking the one I want to write. But yeah, I try to keep my pulse on like the what's hot right now, but I'm usually always behind, so I don't usually jump into something until it's over. But because I just do this part-time, I'm not full-time, so I can't get books out quick like other folks can. But anyway, that's all I've got in the pipeline right now.
Okay, so Joshua Kern.
Okay. I put out 3 books this year. The Well Within was in January. Game of Gods, the 5th and final book in that series, was in July. And then Runic Cultivator, the first book in that series, was in August. I just finished writing the 3rd book in my Nameless Chronicles series, and I'm doing the rewrites on that one. And I just finished the 2nd book in Runic Cultivator, and I'm doing the 2nd book of Runic Cultivator series, and I'm doing the rewrites on that one. And you can also find a new series of mine on Royal Road called Dungeon Fall, and you can find my stuff on Amazon and through my website. So lots of stuff going on.
And lastly, our author here.
All right. I do Lewd Dungeon, Dark Fate, Into the Black, the OP Lich is a returnee system supervillain, and I have a new book starting on my Patreon called Reborn as the First Boss, which is somebody, biker chick from upstate New York, getting reincarnated as the first boss of a sexy RPG.
Nice.
Sounds spicy.
Awesome. Yeah.
Wait, is that title Sexy RPG?
No,
Is
but
that part?
but the first boss is a succubus, so
Yeah.
Not surprised with that at all. Again, Stuart.
Hmm.
Okay, so we have 5 minutes left. You guys actually managed to keep it real tight there. So, is there anything else you want to discuss out as we head off here?
I can see as our moderator, like after this is over, she needs a drink. Like she's gonna go like take a shot of something.
She's already got one, man.
you act like you haven't been drinking already. Yeah, we have drinks.
It's really weird. But I do confess, I did buy stuff to make myself a coffee drink with some butterscotch liquor.
We're
Nah.
doing good because they threatened Stuart to behave. Otherwise, he'll never be able to go to any con again, ever.
Oh, behave.
I've been good, really.
Oh,
It's
hey.
Practice from the Dragon Con, right? Being good over there, too.
Yeah,
Surprised you didn't
they
get banned
actually
from
let me
them.
on panels at Dragon Con. They did not know what to expect, so I was good, really, honestly.
I actually was hoping that Stuart would have his shirt off. I've seen a lot of his shirt off on like his Facebook page.
Because it's working out.
I work
Yeah.
out.
I wish I was.
Right? Flex.
But yeah, work
I'm
life.
just going to imagine how muscular Joshua Kern is. We can't see him.
Yeah,
He's been flexing this whole time. We just can't tell.
I am extremely tall. I'm
Camera's
not super
broken.
muscly.
But really, he was just too ashamed.
Too
That's
ashamed.
what we're going to tell everybody until he gets his camera fixed.
I just
He
didn't want
can't-
to see
he
how
can't compete
you
with
guys
your
to see
guys'
how
beards.
jacked I am.
He just got bad acne breakout, I think.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Pimples.
I don't think he
exist
can compete
everywhere.
with your guys' beards, man. So he's like, nope, no camera.
I did actually have to trim it yesterday, so there is that.
You have to have a beard to right hear him.
I had the Viking beard. It was trailing down to the floor.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
I had the beards in it. I had mice stuck in it. It was just getting out of control.
Nasty. Ooh.
Sharon's just shaking her head over there. Like, nope.
At that point, he's just like, okay, it's time for the beard to go. At least
Shave it in his
some
sleep.
of it.
Well, when I went through the store and I came home and found a little child stuck inside, it was definitely, I thought it was time to trim it.
When you find a little child stuck inside you, that's a bad sign.
Well, it was stuck inside the beard, not inside me.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Let's just clarify
Don't worry,
that.
we
Why
believe
was it
you.
even in there, dude? Were you saving it for later to eat or something?
Stop giving Stuart more
I don't know,
ideas.
it was just popped up.
Just
I
pop
don't know where
up.
it came from outside of in the store.
Sure it was.
We have issues.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know. I bet some of your
Wholesome
internet
truth.
history is pretty wild.
That's why you got to tell
Stuart.
everybody, I'm an author. And then when they look at your history, it makes a little more sense.
I mean, like, how many watch lists are you guys on, right?
All of
can't
them
do
in
If you're
one.
not on the federal watch list, are you really an author?
No, you're a poser.
Loser. That's why everyone deals with imposter syndrome. They're not on the Fed watch list yet.
Exactly.
You're like, I'm on the no-fly list. No.
I'm on the no anything list. If
No
I even
anything.
try and buy sniffing paint, no.
Okay,
They're
so,
sniffing paint, huh?
Paint is a clue right there.
Yeah, sniffing paint.
all right, so we are almost out of time. We have like about 45 seconds left. So Kyle Wilkinson wants to know: are there any upcoming projects? Yeah, they already just talked about those.
You're
So
late, Kyle. Sorry.
we will. Yeah, we will. You can continue this in the Discord if anybody wants to, but we are out of time.
All right.
See y'all.
Yeah. See y'all later. It was fun.
Thank you so
Yeah, it was
much.
fun. Have a good one.
Y'all
Great
have a good
panel.